Scores. Welcome back to our live show. We appreciate you tuning in to the Real Hooper Show. Well, we just have real Hooper conversations, and it's not always about debates. I get that all the time. People want to debate. As soon as you say something, they're like, let's debate. Let me show you the numbers. Let's see the numbers. It's not always about that. Numbers got a story, Numbers got a story. Everything that numbers don't always tell the full story. So it's kind of always, it's always a little challenging to debate everything. I don't mind a good banter back and forth. I don't mind it, but this ain't what this show is about. It's Real Hooper Show. To have real Hooper conversations. Now they already told me was understood don't need to be said, so I ain't even gonna tell you guys. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and share. I ain't gonna say it. I'm gonna just get right into the show. E, man, how you doing, bro? You had some technical difficulties early. We starting the show 7 minutes late. What's going on, man?
I'm doing good, bro.
You doing good, bro? How you feeling, man? Everything good? Did you get a chance to watch that Knicks game?
Of course, bro. Of course.
Yeah. What you think? What you think of the Knicks? Championship bound?
Nah, Jalen Brunson different, bro.
He different?
Might be championship bound. I don't know.
Okay. I like seeing the Knicks win. I do like seeing the Knicks win because, I got some friends from New York. I just interviewed our guy, Josh Smith. He's from New York, as you already know. He expressed his love for the Knicks, and I like to see those. I like to see those type of fans actually. You see some success. Although it's an in-season tournament, it shouldn't be belittled. It definitely shouldn't be belittled. We got to stop taking wins for granted. So yeah, I like seeing I like the Knicks. And here's the thing, it's a really good look for them because one, they have a different team this year. They are going a little deeper this year when it comes to the bench, and the Spurs has a good bench. Spurs has a good team, and to see them pull it out, I was like, oh shoot. Okay, Mike James over there doing something. These guys balling. These guys showing up. So right now, I've been saying this all year. The Knicks is the most experienced team in the East. They're the most experienced team in the East. They got all their pieces back. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. They got a mature guard in Jalen Brunson. OG Anunoby, he won a championship before. Cat. He's been to Eastern Conference and Western Conference Finals. So they got some good pieces. Mikal Bridges, they call him the Iron Man. Play all the games, don't miss too many. Play a lot of minutes for him as well. So they got a good team. They got some good pieces, man. And we're gonna get into that in a second. Man, listen, I saw this interview. Man, Richard Jefferson. You know who Richard Jefferson is, E? My guy 24, so just bear with him here.
Yeah, he played with Bron Cleveland.
Yeah, okay, he played with Bron Cleveland. But his better years was with the Nets, right? For the Nets, he averaged about 22 points. So he was talking about him averaging 22 points, okay? And when he averaged 22 points, he was about 8th in the league in scoring. Now 22 points to get you all the way down to about 20th. Average about 22 points. Let's see where if you average 22 points today, right, E? Let's see. Look it up. All right. So you average about 22 points today. You talking about maybe you probably in the 20th spot? You probably 24th spot. So basically what he was saying was how much the game has evolved, how much the game advanced. But he also said in order to get the game back to where it was when he played, you got to add some more defense. So which means you got to add some more physicality, right? So when it comes to the physicality part, I agree. I totally agree. Like, I'm an advocate for these young guys who playing and who, because I understand it is challenging. I understand that some of the stuff that they're doing is unmatched. I understand that it is next level. So I'm on these young guys' sides 100%. But I do agree with some of the fans when they say the defense is too soft. And I agree. And it's not because of the players are soft. Like, I think these are professional athletes. These guys can adapt. I think it's more about the refs. The referees got to allow some of this stuff to play out. Like, there was a time when a coach would yell out, good no call. Because sometimes, like, yeah, you might have fouled him, but it was like a soft foul. I'm not calling that, bro. Like, for instance, like if a kid goes to the basket and you might get it might be a ticky-tack foul, but he overdo it and fall. Good no call. Don't call that. He got to finish that anyway. Good no call. They don't have that no more in the NBA. They don't have the no call ref. Like, yeah, he fouled you, but you still should have finished it. You get what I'm saying? So it's a little different. So I definitely agree with Richard Jefferson when it comes to that. But this doesn't mean the players aren't good. Like a lot of fans like to align with that. Oh, it's not like it was back in the day, so the players aren't good. It's easier for the players. Nah. These dudes is taking some crazy shots and hitting some crazy shots. These dudes is coming down, pulling up some crazy shots and hitting some crazy shots. So I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, if the guys who averaging 35 points right now, if they played in Richard Jefferson era, they'd be averaging 18. Nah. I say they'll adjust. They'll do exactly what they've been doing. They'll figure out another way. The thing about the evolution of basketball right now is not only about being able to have skills with the basketball, is also about IQ. The IQ. Yes, these guys are going to the line a lot, but that's because they learned how to manipulate the refs. That's the 90s, they didn't learn that. They didn't figure that out. They just called it the Jordan rule and kept it going. They didn't say, well, what's Jordan doing? How's he getting these fouls? Nobody tried to mimic it. James Harden started it, and then guys like SGA mimic it. Jalen Brunson started to mimic it. Luka Doncic mimic it. Guys start to learn and pick up stuff. So I don't think that if these guys played in the 90s, it'd be that much different. I think it'd be a culture shock if some of them had the exact same game that these guys have, right? Like if you get, and we'll talk about, you think about some of the, like a Chet Holmgren, a Wemby. A Wemby at 7'5", Wemby 7'5", playing in 2002. Who's stopping him? Who's stopping those moves? What center is coming out there and getting busy with him? Now, don't get me wrong. He'll have some problems too. He'll have some issues too. But he'll also give his problems as well. So when I look at it, yeah, the game has evolved. I do think it needs to be more physical. I do think the refs need to let it be more physical, but that doesn't mean the players aren't good. That doesn't mean the players can't score, won't score. Doesn't mean that. Yeah, the score may go down, may decrease to a certain extent, but that won't mean they're not superstars. They'll still be superstars. You know what, man? Here's the thing, bro. You know the biggest thing online, like when they have, and I don't want to make this like a LeBron thing. What's up?
Before you get to that, I do have a question for you, or two questions for you. Moving on from that, what do you think is more valuable?
Yo, you gotta put the mic up.
My fault.
There you go.
What do you think? What do you think is more valuable, consistency or dominance in today's league?
What's more valuable, consistency or dominance? I'll say this. I think right now dominance is more valued in today's basketball. We live in a what have you done for me lately, right? And people love a snapshot of the career. versus the full career. So you'll have a guy who's flourishing in the moment, and all of a sudden he's compared to a guy's resume. Maxey, I get it. He played for the Sixers, but he's not Allen Iverson yet. Let's slow down. You're making some tough shots. You're making some good shots. He can ball. He's nice. I like him. Not Allen Iverson yet. Or a team can be doing good, and we start writing the star off. Like, we start writing the person off who got us, like, eyeballs on the team. Trae Young, right? I question how he's going to fit in, but I don't think he's not going to fit in. People be like, oh, trade him. Just trade him. After he's been consistent all these years, right? SGA, he's right again. Like right now, like see, here's the thing with the NBA. Right now with the NBA, there's been a new winner every year, right? Having a new winner every year tells me SGA could win this year because of the flow they in now, or he might not win, right? And what if he doesn't win again? We doing all this talking and all this, oh, he's so good. You gotta let guys develop. Like he been really good for the last 4 years, right? But the guys we compare him to, like a Kobe, we talking about a guy who been good from 19. Like let's be real. We expected something out of Kobe, even though he was the 13th pick. He came off the bench. I say Kobe came into his own about 98. You talking about a dude who retired 2016, last game, scored 60. Talking about a guy who been good for 18 years. SJ been good for 4, 5. So I don't think consistency is valued as much as it should be. It's almost taken for granted because we consume basketball how we consume music, right? Back in the day when music, if Jay-Z dropped the album, he dropped this album and we played it from they always drop the best artists on the label typically drop the fourth quarter, right? In between September and December, right? To pick up to recoup the money they missed on a newer artist. Jay-Z will drop an album and it'll last for a year. He'll do shows, all that stuff. It's played on the radio. That same album. He only had to do one album a year. Same thing with basketball, right? If Jason Kidd got a triple-double, it was like an uproar. Sports Center, this is getting breaking news. Jason Kidd, triple-double, 4th of the season, is an uproar. He could be the greatest point guard of all time. Now, everybody gets a triple-double. We just write it off. Oh, triple-double, okay, cool. So when we see a guy like SGA and everybody's hyping it, and he's not overhyped, by the way. He's not overrated, by the way. But we see it, and then we're like, oh, he could be better than Kobe. He could be better. Nah, let's calm down. Let's relax. Kobe did it for almost 20 years at a high clip. He ain't that yet. Oh, Jokic, he better than Shaq. Okay, let's yes, skill-wise, yes, I agree. But Shaq was like dominant. 3 championships, dominant. Young guy in the finals playing against the Rockets, dominant. Let's slow down. You get what I'm saying? So I think like today's society, they appreciate dominance in the moment versus consistency over years. And it's understandable though. I get it. I totally get it. Because when you was growing up, we had one to 4 outlets to watch basketball. And then you had to watch it when it was on. There wasn't no highlights. It wasn't no YouTube. It wasn't no social media. It wasn't none of that. You had to literally watch, so your time was precious. It was valuable. So you wouldn't waste time missing the games. That time you had to wait for Shaq to score 30, 40 points, you had to sit and watch that. You had to watch it. You started to get comfortable with the announcers, Hubie Brown and all these guys, when they was announcers or whatnot. You started to get comfortable with the announcers, the assistant coaches, all that stuff. So you was more invested, is what I'm trying to say. You was more invested back in the day.
Earlier you mentioned how there's been a new champion every year.
Right.
What's one team that you think is one piece away to being a real title contender?
You know who I think? One team I can say, and this is because Giannis is on a block right now. I'll say Miami. I think Miami. If Miami can pull off a Giannis and don't lose a lot of people, like even keeping Ware would be still good. I mean, obviously being Bam, Harrow, Powell, Wiggins, that core right there with Giannis.
I feel like you gotta give up one of those pieces for Giannis.
You might have to give up Ware. I give up what's my man name? Hakic? What's his name?
Jaime Jaquez?
Yeah, Jaquez. I give up him. I give up them two and some draft picks to make it happen right now. You got Wiggins. He's been in the league for a while. Bam. Miami needs something right now. I give something up. You know what I mean? But I think right. So right now, Miami is what? Where they at in the standings right now? Yeah, let me know where Miami at. I think they're like 10th or something like that. But they're like tied with like 3 other teams.
Miami's currently 9th in the standings.
9th in the standings. 1
game behind 7th. So the 7th and 8th seed are tied.
Yeah. I think if you get Giannis to Miami, there'll be a serious team. There'll be a serious team for sure. But I even throw an extra one in there. I think Houston is already a serious team. The point guard position will develop over the year. But if you wanted to like really make a splash, get an experienced point guard like a Drew Holiday. Yeah. I think if you can get something like that going for Houston, you might be all right. You might be all right. You know what I'm online, right? Well, somebody sent me this. I ain't gonna say I was online. Someone sent me this, right? They sent me this clip of Kwame Brown, right? He was talking about LeBron. He was talking about, he's a narcissist and da-da-da-da. And I'm not going to make this about LeBron. But my thing is this, right? When people talk to me about a LeBron or whatnot, it's never really so much about the basketball game. It always come off like, no, LeBron's a great player. He's great. No, no, 1,000%, he is great. I just, excuse me, I just don't like that he's a narcissist. And you like, we men, y'all care about another man's characteristic trait? Like that sounds like what women do. You're a manipulative narcissist. You're always manipulating a narcissist. So when I hear it, it's like people don't even, it's not even about like basketball anymore. It can't be because he already has a long enough resume. You feel me? So then he was like, then Kwame, he's going in and he like, yo, fighters, they don't have to talk about how good they are. They just fight. Are you sure about that? Muhammad Ali never said he was the greatest in the world. Never said none of it. Floyd Mayweather never said he was the best ever. Nah, that's what fighters do. They just go out there and fight. And you know another thing too is people don't understand leadership roles have different makeups, like different looks to it. Everybody wants the leader of the team, or especially in basketball, to look like Michael Jordan. he was just determined. He was so focused. He didn't like nobody. He everything he did, he played hard. Even when flipping bottle caps, he's dead serious. Oh, Kobe Bryant, he just never smiled. This is how we want to see our leaders. People don't understand that leadership comes in different ways. Leadership can come by example. Leadership can come by your work ethic. Leadership can come in so many different ways. And we only focused on one thing. Kwame said, I played with Mike Jordan, and they never said he was the best player. Yeah, man, you played with Mike Jordan in 2002. He already was deemed the best player before you even got to the league. Why would he have to say that? You played with Kobe when he was in his peak. Why would he have to say that? At that time, Kobe was the best player in the world. Why would he have to say that? And people get, you know what's crazy, bro? People get a fix out of it. They get a thrill out of it. They sending it to me. Look what Kwame said. Give a fuck. Like, who cares? Who cares? Like, why do y'all want everybody to look alike? Like, bro got his way of leading, homie got his way of leading, main man got his way of leading. Did they get the job done? That's the matter. One got 6, one got 5, one got 4. They got the job done. It is what it is. But guys, we got to stop doing that. We got to stop doing that, man. We got to stop always looking for one person to look like the other person. And that's where basketball fails at. Because you don't have that, because you're not going to have that, not to say you're not going to have a Kobe Bryant type of guy anymore or Michael Jordan type of guy anymore, because they came from like the suburbs. You know what I mean? So you got a lot of kids from the suburbs, a lot of kids with good backgrounds and just good work ethic. So you can have that again, but how are we holding it against players if they not that? You get me? So it's just one of them things, bro. Like, we got to stop that as men, man. We talking basketball, we talking characteristic traits. Y'all trying to hoop or y'all trying to date? What's going on out here, man? You know what I'm saying? So, you got something for me?
Yeah. So another pair of questions I have for you. Name a player fans call overrated that actually isn't.
That's a good one. Name a player that fans call overrated that actually isn't.
You want me to pull up a list?
Yeah, pull up a list. Pull up a list. Let's see. Because you know what? I don't really be listening to fans. So I get a lot of traffic through if the trending topics. So people really don't push back unless it's like LeBron or somebody, if it's like a Jordan debate or whatever. But for the most part, people agree with the takes on the younger players. So I don't really get no pushback on those.
All right. I got a top 5 overrated list from Bleacher Report.
Uh-huh.
I got De'Aaron Fox, Austin Reeves, Jaren Jackson Jr., Tyler Hero, and LaMelo Ball.
I'm going to definitely say Jaren Jackson. Jaren Jackson definitely overrated.
Players that you think that aren't overrated, that people would consider
that
overrated.
Aren't overrated. Say that again. So who aren't overrated. Mm-hmm. Players the fans are called overrated actually isn't. Mm-hmm. Right. I'll say Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves, I don't think he's like, if they saying Austin Reeves is overrated, he averaging 28 points. I mean, Austin Reeves has been going up since the 2023 playoffs. So he's been doing what a person who wasn't drafted is supposed to do. You know what I mean? I like it. I like his come up. I like his journey. It's showing a promising future. Who else on that list?
Yeah, De'Aaron Fox, LaMelo Ball, Tyler
Like
Hero.
De'Aaron Fox, like how we saying De'Aaron Fox is, they say he's overrated? Nah. Like, bro, like, homie averaged over 27 points in the NBA. On the Sacramento Kings, took the Kings to the playoffs. Went to war with the Warriors. How's he overrated? You know, this is what I'm saying, bro. This goes back to what I was saying earlier. People don't value consistency as much as they do dominance. Because ultimately, like, because he's not the shining star on the Spurs right now, and he can't be. He's just on a better team now. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's on a better team with up-and-coming players. You got someone like Wemby who's a main attraction in the NBA. He's a main attraction in the NBA. De'Aaron Fox ain't gonna outshine him. You got Castle. You have Dylan Harper. You have some good players on the Spurs, bro. You got some good players on the Spurs, but that doesn't take anything away from De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox is still a baller. He's still a hooper. He's still getting buckets out here. How much he averaging right now? I mean, he started off the season. He started off the season injured. How much my boy De'Aaron Fox averaging right now?
He's at 23 points per game.
23 points per game with the Spurs. What, fourth in the West right now? They about fourth in the West right now. They fought fourth in the West. Spurs fourth in the West. He averaging 23 points a game on the fourth best team in the toughest conference in the NBA, and he's overrated? That don't make no sense. And not to mention, Wemby only been serviceable for the last 2 games. So he's out. He was out, so that tells a lot about the team. But yeah, he's still making a big impact. Still making a big impact. He's played 17 games, playing 32 minutes. He has about 6 assists. I mean, I think De'Aaron Fox. I think if y'all saying De'Aaron Fox is overrated, you're bugging. I think if Austin Reeves, you're bugging. I agree with who else was LaMelo, and who else?
Tyler Hero.
I like Tyler Hero too, but he could be overrated. He could be overrated. But again though, like a guy like Tyler Hero, I don't necessarily expect him to. I don't expect him to be like a superstar. I just expect him to hit big shots. I expect him to have great games. I expect him to score. I expect a guy like Tyler Hero to score anywhere between 17 and 25 a night. I think that's his range. Yeah, I don't really look at him like somebody that should be doing more than that. You know what I'm saying?
I got Adam in the chat. He's talking about Herb Jones, saying he's bottom 5 in the league and only averages 11 points per 36 minutes. What do you think about Herb Jones? Do you have any thoughts on Herb Jones
for the Pelicans? Yeah, Pelicans, right? Yeah. I don't really have no comments towards Herb Jones. I haven't really had a chance to see him play in this entirety. I've seen him play a few games, but I like the Pelicans core. I like them as a group. I think they're going to be good over the next years if they can keep those guys together and if they can get DeJounte Murray back. I don't think they need Zion as a superstar. I don't think they need to do that. I think that's where the Pelicans go wrong. But they just got to find a culture and an identity. Right now, they just don't have an identity. I like the games I did watch. Just watching towards the end, they just have anybody shooting the basketball. They have no system. Like the game I watched against the Warriors took their time the last 2 minutes. They literally shot the ball at the end of the 24-second clock. The Pelicans came down, shot the ball within the first 5 seconds of the shot clock. That's the identity. So when you see guys like a Herb Jones and he's not consistent because they don't have a consistent system. They don't have a consistent system. They don't have a consistent culture. And that's what takes away from a lot of teams. That's what takes away from the viewership as well. Because ultimately, like it or not, or believe it or not, us as fans, or us as, fans, us as fans, we look at that. We look at these guys and we don't understand. Subconsciously, we're used to seeing winning basketball, and winning basketball comes with a structure. And if you don't have a structure on a team, it's not appealing to the eyes. Maybe one player is exciting to watch, but it's not the player, it's not the team that you're going to tune into every night in and night out, or you're going to make you buy the NBA package to make sure you keep up with that team because they don't got a winning culture. You know what I mean? Any more questions for me? You already got it right now? So I ran past this other post, right? And one guy, I don't know his name off the top of the head, and I feel bad about this. because he put out some really good content. I see some of his content. He does breakdowns on the game and show where the screen comes from, the weak side screen, and all that good stuff. I think that he does a great job with his content. So I feel terrible about not remembering his name. But he posted this video. He posted this video to show the evolution of basketball, right? So he used Chris Bosh as an example. And Chris Bosh, Chris Bosh was a very versatile forward, as we all know. I got a chance to watch him in Georgia Tech. He was bringing the ball up the court sometimes. He was crossing guys over. I seen him in an All-American game. And he carried that same game to the league with the Raptors. He was a 21-10 guy. Really good player, right? So he compared the skill set of Chris Bosh to Naz Reid, right? Naz Reid obviously is not a decorated forward as Chris Bosh in his moment of his career, but the skill set was completely different. Like some of the stuff that Naz Reid is doing with the basketball is guard-like. It's guard-like. He's moving, he's shaking, he's doing his thing. He's hitting shots or whatever, but not as consistent as Chris Bosh. So I wanted to go look in the comments. I wanted to see what people were saying. So I look in the comments and people like, man, you don't know basketball. This is a terrible take. Even Richard Jefferson was in there and was like, you just don't know how good Chris Bosh was. And I don't think it was a matter of comparing the two players. I think that's the thing about sports. Everyone feels like everything needs to be a debate. Like he wasn't comparing the actual players. He was comparing like, Chris Bosh was a premier player and he was a stretch forward. Look at Naz Reid. He's also a stretch forward, but he has a significantly less role than Chris Bosh did on a championship team. But look what he can do with the ball. Look how the role players has evolved since then. And that's how he was kicking it. And it's so crazy to me that people, I keep saying this, man, and the reason why I say this is because I truly believe basketball is a training ground for the real world. The way you think on the court impacts the way you think off the court. If you're a competitive person, you're going to be competitive in other areas in your life that you care about. If you understand team work ethic and all that good stuff, that can translate into your real life. So when people can't understand a conversation versus a debate, that can translate into real life. Like, it's amazing to me that when the people in my comments, my DMs, I'm talking to them, all they want to do is debate. You like, bro, I'm having a basketball conversation with you. We just talking. And the fact that they took this whole clip of this guy's, or the clip he put out there of Naz Reid and Chris Bosh as a head-to-head, it was insane. I'm like, what y'all missing? He not even saying nothing about Chris Bosh. He didn't compare. He just literally used Chris Bosh because Chris Bosh was probably one of the most, I want to say that one of the only forwards at that time that was like doing the stuff that he was doing, handling the basketball, shooting the way he was doing, step backs or whatnot. And he just compared his skill set. So just one of them things, man. We got to get out of that, man. Just because it's sports don't mean that everything needs to be a debate. Everything doesn't need to be a debate. You got any questions for me over there? I see you revving up the mic.
That's crazy. Yeah, so I was wondering, would you rather have an elite defense or an elite playmaking if you was building your own team?
Elite playmaking. Like, are you saying in one person or just a team?
In one person, like your the head of the snake.
Elite playmaking. Yeah, you want elite playmaking. Because one thing I know from coaching, if you got a player on the court that understands the game, that understands pace, that understands how to get the ball in the hot hand, that understands when to shoot, when not to shoot, understand time and score, and it has the ability to make plays, you're gold. Defense, we can teach the other four guys how to play defense. I could teach a team defense. But when it comes to this, when it comes to making a play, that's hard to teach. Is like, I mean, you ever try to herd cats? You ever try to herd cats? Like, you ever try to get cats all and walk them in the same direction at the same time?
Nah, I never tried that.
You can't. You can't. So trying to teach someone how to be a playmaker at an older age is like herding cats. You better off herding cats. You better off racing a car. You get what I'm saying? So for me, it's like I'd rather the playmaking ability than the defense, for sure.
Now, next question I have for you. What matters more, the best player or the best system?
Best system. Yeah, best system, man. Because listen, I believe it was John Solly. John Solly said this about LeBron. If he was in a better system, if he had a system that he can rely on, he would have won more championships. A system wins, like Phil Jackson's system won a lot of championships, right? Phil Jackson won without Jordan. You get me? Because of the system. Once he implemented the system, Jordan became a championship player. Like when people lose, like good players, like Allen Iverson lost to the Lakers. Yes, the Lakers were better, but it was a system that they relied on to keep everybody in check. You got two players that's shooting 22 shots a game. A system can only control the other four or the other three on the court. You get me? LeBron, for the most part, didn't lose to like actual players. He lost to a system that you couldn't really defend at the time. 4 or 5 guys on the court shooting threes. We've never seen it before. That's a system. Tim Duncan, Ginobili, Parker, these guys averaging 17 points a game and still winning championships. Nobody on the team averaging 27 points. System. That's a system.
I want to harp on that Phil Jackson take because I hear Phil Jackson with the championships that he won. He had Michael Jordan and Kobe.
No, you need the players. Mm-hmm. You need the players. You need some players that understand big moments, understand how to hit some big shots. But those same players don't always hit big shots in the big moments. They miss. You know what I mean? They make mistakes. Some nights the defense get the best of them. That's there. But a system, you can rely on other things. You can rely on a Scottie Pippen. You can rely on, I mean, obviously Kobe and Shaq was like Batman and Superman. So, but yeah, one can rely on the other. You need those players. David Robinson, Tim Duncan. You need those players for sure. Tony Parker won the Finals MVP in 2007. That's a system that's pushing that. You know what I mean? So it's like you need the players. I'm not trying to I don't care what system you have. You don't got the players. You don't got the players. You know what I mean? I could be the greatest coach in the world, but if a kid can't hit a jump shot, ain't nothing that we can do. We could have the tallest kids on the team or in the tournament. They can't make a layup. It ain't gonna work. So,
another last question.
Go keep shooting.
I have for you was who was a system player fans pretend is a superstar? I know you got Tim Duncan, so I want to X that out already. You got to give me somebody else.
I'm not gonna say Tim Duncan wasn't a superstar. He was a superstar. But I don't think he was a bigger star individually. If you take away the system, I don't think he was a better superstar than Kevin Garnett. If you take him out of the system, you know what I mean? They head-to-head matchup is identical with the exception of maybe 1 rebound or 1 point or some shit like that. But I don't think he was I think he's a superstar. He was a superstar. Draymond's in there. Yeah, Draymond in there. If we talking system players who fans think they're superstars, like I was like highly shocked to see people come to Draymond's defense against Kenyon Martin. I was shocked. I was like, damn, y'all really believe like, the Warriors, like he wasn't with the Warriors. Y'all really believe like he would have been the same guy somewhere else. Y'all would have accepted him to somewhere like Washington Wizards average 8, 5, and 5 and 5. Y'all accepting him over there? Oh yeah, we gotta get our tickets ready to go see Draymond. Like, and ain't no offense. Like, I like for me, I can't offend no NBA player, bro. You made it to the NBA. You somewhere I've never been. I never was even close to scratching the surface with. Like, but I'm just keeping it a buck. You know, we talking as fans. You know what I mean? Like, so I think Draymond is one of them. I think people say Ginobili would have been a superstar. I don't think Ginobili would have been a superstar outside of that. Here's the thing. Okay, what was your question?
I was going to ask you, what makes you say that?
Well, here's the thing for Ginobili, right? I think he was a good player, but he also was a six man, right? So as a six man, you coming off the bench, you playing against the second unit too, against other teams. So your points and the things you're doing, you're scoring, some of them are coming against the second lineup. You're not coming against this. And then he wasn't like a 25, 26 scorer. He was a 17-point scorer. He was a great X factor. Like, that's what a system is, man. Like, I promise you, like, for you guys who've never played in a system, I'm gonna enlighten you. When my freshman year, I was in junior college, right? I averaged 19 points. But we had some ballers. We had some hoopers. I wasn't even a leading scorer. Somebody else was averaging 25 points. Then right after me, somebody was averaging 17 points. That's how good the team was. That's how fast we played. I went to another junior college. That was a better junior college, believe it or not. Better junior college, better coached, everything. Had about 6 Division I players on that team. I want to say 6 Division I players. And nobody averaged more than 12. Everyone played. We had 5 in and 5 out, a platoon system. Everyone played. Nobody averaged more than 12 points. That's a system. That doesn't necessarily mean we couldn't have, but because the system was so tight, it hid all of our flaws. Some of the guys on the team probably could never average 20 points at another junior college. Like, I had one guy on the team, he was just a pure shooter, just a shooter. Couldn't put the ball on the ground with his left to save his life. But because he was surrounded by so many guards who can penetrate the gap and his shots themselves, it left him open a lot of times in the corner. He averaged about 11 points. So stuff like that, when people talk about the system and being a superstar in the system is completely different, bro. A superstar, he put a team on his back. That's the dude you pay to go see. I remember going to pay to go see Kobe Bryant. That was different. You got a question?
So, how important is it? I'm trying to figure out. Nikola Jokic, he was drafted. I'm trying to figure out what number he was drafted in. Was he second round, first round?
Shit. I can't remember. That was 2015. Mm-hmm. That was 10 years ago.
Nikola Jokic was drafted 41st overall. Now, was it the system that made him a star, or do you think that he would have been a star no matter where he went?
I think the culture makes him a star, right? Here's the thing about these foreigners. Like, it's not too many that come in that we like, yo, I can't wait to see him play because we don't know anything about him. Like a guy like Luka, he come in and make a splash immediately, right? But a guy like Giannis or Jokic, they can come in and just come under the radar and just sneak in. There's no expectation. When you get that draft pick, you 41st draft pick. Nobody cares. Nobody thinking about who you going to be in 5 years, 6 years, because we don't know your story. We don't know your background. So for me, I think the foreign players, they get time to develop without pressure, right? And you start to see some glimpses, some success, and you're like, oh yeah, 15 points, man, yeah, okay, geez, okay, 15, 12, and 7. Who's this kid, Nikola? And then you don't put no weight on him either. Like now, because at that point, They're trying to build around him. Let's get him a couple players. Oh, this is a good team. But then over time, he becomes the man. Damn, he scored 50, 12, and 12. Yo, now you got to do it all the time. You get me? But he had 7 to 8 years to develop into the star. Versus a Cooper Flag. Versus the LeBron. Any of these guys who come in number one, immediately we're looking at them like, where they at? What you gonna do? His first year, had 2 points, had 7 points. So when it comes to stuff like that, it's one of them things of they got time to develop.
Nah, I feel like I ask you this all the time, but when do you write off? When do you feel like, all right, let's write off this this player and start focus on another player? Because 7, 8 years seems like a pretty long span to see a player develop. Mm-hmm. But then some players get written off within the third, second year maybe. So when do you, like, how do you determine as a coach, all right, I'm going to write out this player, even if he's going through a tough patch, rough year, all right, I'm going to write him out.
Well, I think you got to give it grace, right? My grace period for especially a professional, 3 years. 3 years. But you should already be seeing like glimpses of it, right? Like, one thing about basketball or sports in general, you could be working hard behind the scenes and you really don't see the end product until a year later, 2 years later. But as a coach, I can see the work ethic in practice. I see the work ethic after practice. I come in early and I'm putting the practice plan on the board. Who's in here working on a jump shot? Who's in here working on a handle? That shows that you see that as a coach, a GM. It's kind of hard to go in your office and say, yeah, we got to get rid of him soon. Look at him working hard. You get me? So, like, but 7 years, I wouldn't wait 7 years. I'm just saying when the colas start really shining in a public eye, like, or on a major platform, 7 was kind of long, but we'll say like 4 or 5 years in where we started expecting him to be the person every night. Yeah. So, but I did want to talk about some of the players who, like, because we was talking about overrated players. And I did want to talk about some overrated players right now. I think Zion Williamson is an overrated player, but not because he's not a good player. Because I don't like this. The word overrated gets thrown out of context too much. Overrated as in, here's a guy who's been battling his weight, injuries, etc. Why are y'all still hoping that this guy averages 30 points, 29 points? Why are you trying to run the offense through him? I think a guy like Zion Williams is a 17-point, 20-point scorer, if that. I think 20 is like even pushing it. Not to say that's his limit. I think that's the most impactful for the team. What I mean by that, he can average 17 points without the offense going, 17 to 20 points without the offense going through him 100% of the time. You get what I'm saying? Or if 80% of the time. He can get that. He can get those type of points from running the floor, hitting some shots, grabbing some offensive rebounds. And then, yes, there'll be nights where he's just hot and we just got to keep feeding him the basketball. But I think guys like that is an overrated guy. Paolo Banchero. Paolo Banchero. Paolo Banchero. Listen, bro. He just got an extended rookie max contract. He hasn't played for a lot of the season. I understand. I'm giving him his rhythm. I know he got to get some rhythm under him. But, right now he's averaging 20 points. Team was already doing good without him. Y'all made it seem like, if Paolo Banchero is going to be the next guy, he's going to take it. Nah, like, I think he's also a guy who can run in a system. If you get a strong system for Orlando, you got Bane who won the ball, you got Wagner who wants the ball. I think Wagner still out? He's still out? Well, hypothetically speaking, if Wagner wasn't injured, you got the guy Black, who's pretty good, Snugs. And Banchero. I think you got a good, strong core. You don't got to put all the weight on Paolo Banchero. You just don't have to put all the weight on him because it's not necessary. LaMelo Ball. Like, I'm a LaMelo Ball fan. Yes, I am, but he's not always serviceable. People are like, you got to get him out of there. Like, you need more respect. Nah, he doesn't. He needs to be right where he is. That boy, Con Kneppel, he's showing off. Miles Bridges, even Brandon Miller. I think they got a good core group if they can balance it out. But that's going to come with maturity. Those guys are still young. Con Kneppel is a rookie. These guys are still young. So, and they haven't experienced winning yet. So they're still trying to figure out how to win. So you don't need LaMelo Ball at the head of your snake, and you're trying to make him a winner. You're trying to make him a winner. No, he hasn't won yet. Jaren Jackson. Jaren Jackson's also overrated. He's averaging 17 points and 5 rebounds at standing at 6'10". The 2 years prior to this year, so last year and the year before, he's averaged 22 points. That means he's averaging 5 points less without Ja Morant in the lineup. Now, obviously, Ja Morant might have something to do with the 5 points because his pressure he puts on the defense. But still, I expect more than 5 rebounds. Like 5 rebounds, you're not even giving it 110% at 6'10". You know, so I think he's overrated right now. Miles Turner, Milwaukee. Miles Turner gave him $25 million. He's also proven why the Pacers didn't give him that extra $5 million or $3 million, averaging 12 points and 5 rebounds. Giannis been out most of the time. He's also playing around 22 to 23 minutes a game. 22, 23 minutes a game. That means you paid him $1 million a minute. You know what I'm saying? So it was like those guys are overrated to me. You know, when it comes to actually being when it comes to being an actual player and standing on business for the check, those guys is overrated to me. Let's get into the game last night before we wrap it up. Because there's only one game last night, and the Knicks beat the Spurs. But before we get into the game, listen, brothers, I'm all for celebrating, but the way Josh Hart celebrated with Brunson is not my type of celebration. Now, at first, for those who don't know, the guys who listen on audio, you just to put you up to speed. Jalen Brunson celebrating Josh Hart. What it looked like to me at first, like he pinched his butt. It looked like he pinched it. And then somebody sent it to me on the gram, and he put his thumb in his butt. And Jalen Brunson turned around like, yo, bro, not here. Now, I don't know what type of grab ass you young guys like to get into. But my day, listen, brothers, like, we got to relax. Okay? Like, I ain't against whatever people got going on behind closed doors. I don't think it's that. I ain't going to put that on their body. I think it's more of like how frat boys, like in college, they just do crazy, weird stuff. Yeah, like this is like with like men's, those frat boys. I never was part of no fraternities, none of that stuff. That wasn't my thing. I wasn't trying to do any of that stuff. You wasn't violating me, waking me up 5 a.m, telling me to go get you a goddamn soda for you and your girl, and shaving my head, and there ain't no offense to anybody who was part of that, but that's not my swag. That's not what I'm on. But that's what that reminded me of. I don't think it was like to the next level, but it kind of killed the celebration. Listen, the Knicks fans, man, y'all can't win. Y'all can't win even when y'all win. Like now, like instead of us talking about the Knicks and spending a great amount of time on their success and how they overcame the challenges in the game, we gotta talk about somebody's thumb being in the butt. Let me ask you, E, what you would have had done if you celebrating somebody put a thumb in your butt?
See, I don't know, to be honest with you.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You gonna be, hey, not here, bro. Wait to the room. Listen, my man E-Box, you would have turned around. It's.
See, because you on the NBA stage, bro. You got, you know what I'm saying?
But do you understand like the playfulness behind it, or do you look at it like, nah, we don't play like that around here? Or do you understand like, yeah, there'd be dudes like that at my high school was on shit like that?
It's funny because I understand the play. I seen people play like that before.
You seen it, or did you partake in it?
I seen it. I never partaken. I seen it though.
But man, listen, I don't know. I get it, bro. Like it was a press conference. It was a press conference they had, and he was talking about, and they was being funny with the verbal talk, like inch by inch. It was they was being funny. But now y'all just taking it overboard. You're just doing too much now. But the way Jalen responded to it, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna say it's some frat boy stuff. Now, if it was on some like nonchalant shit, like yo, chill, like if it was on something like that, like yeah, like or he tried to like position his body where the camera couldn't see it, like then it'd be a little different. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say it was some frat boy culture thing they got going on over there from Villanova. I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. I don't play like that. But if he would have gave him one of that, not in public, if we would have gave one of those joints, then I don't know, bro. The Knicks would have lost even if they would have won at that point. Man, but you know what? They did win. They did win. And everybody on the team got $500K. All right, they got $500K in the runner-ups got $212,000, everybody on the team. Let me ask you this, E. What would you rather have? $500K, but didn't play a single minute in the game. Or $212 and you score 50. Ooh. What'd you rather have?
Give me the 50 with the 212.
You don't want the championship?
I mean, you didn't play.
Bro, you selfish, bro. Everybody on the team gets that. So everybody, like, so if you're a rookie who probably like, let's say your rookie was undrafted and he getting paid like $700,000, and then you know that after taxes he probably down like $400 or $350 or $300 or something like that, right? Then he gotta pay his agent fees. Then he gotta get his folks right? So now he probably down to like 200 bands for the whole year. You gonna be like, nah, I'm gonna get you another 200, and he gotta tax that. So you gonna give him another 100 essentially for the year. So he got 300,000 for the year. Instead of giving him 500, you put 250. Now he got 500,000 for the year. That's your rookie, but because you want your 50 points.
If I'm a high enough quality player where I can score 50 in the game, I'll personally give him 500,000 out of my pocket.
Nah. Because look, it's all right, but it's still other rookies. Like only 8 guys and 9 guys gonna play. You got a 16-guy roster.
We'll all contribute to some bread.
All because you want 50?
Yeah.
Dawg, that's selfish.
What you taking?
I'm gonna take the sit the bench 500 bands.
But you sitting. I
can prove myself later on in the season.
No, bro, you sitting. You on the bench?
I don't give a shit. I'm gonna take the 500,000.
No, bro.
And a win and a championship. We all get a trophy.
You didn't play though.
Don't matter. Don't matter. See, this is the problem. I had the same problem coaching basketball. People think because you didn't play, that means you wasn't valuable. Look, let me tell you how this works. I've been on teams where guys didn't play, but they might have play great defense in practice. They might, because they're trying to prove themselves. And it help prepare the other people for the games, right? If everybody had the attitude of, I didn't play, so I ain't playing hard. I didn't play good, so I ain't playing hard. If everybody had that attitude, bro, you wouldn't win. So the guy who last on the bench, suited up, he might not have played, but he definitely valuable to the team. So I want to make sure he get his money. You know what I mean? Not see me again drop 50. And get two. And listen, man, I could have passed it, but I was 2 points away from 50.
Nah, but it's more along the lines of somebody else has to win for you to get to 500K. So you're relying on somebody else, even though you're helping them out in practice.
I mean, yeah, but that's you. This is a hypothetical. This is just you. If we had to place you, if I place Ethan 3 seconds left on the clock, one person is 48, got 48 points with the ball in his hand, and he's down 3, but he's going to score 2. Or another person at the end of the bench didn't play all game, and his team is winning. He can get 500,000. And I had to place Ethan, and I say, this is the score, this is the bench. Where you want to go?
Nah, bro, you
where you want to go?
You moving the goalpost.
No, I'm not. It's the original question.
The other 50s, that's a game-winning shot. But I'm choosing 50. I'm saying I already
have
All
right, he got 50 points. He already had 50 points. The game about to be over. 3 seconds left. The other team already won. I'm putting you on the court. Which side do you want to go on? You want to go on a bench? Or do you want me to put you in the body, pause, of the guy who got 50?
You mean the guy who got 50?
Damn. Man, let me know what y'all think in the chat, man. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. What role would y'all take? What role would you take?
You wouldn't pick the 50?
I wouldn't pick the 50.
Bro, you're a provider, bro.
Yeah, I want the 500,000. I can provide way more with 500,000.
Nah.
A little more with 500,000, not way more. But let me know what y'all think in the chat, man. What y'all rather have, 500,000 or 212,000 with 50 points? Let me know what y'all think. Jalen Brunson was MVP. Did you? I think Jalen Brunson, OG should have won if it was an MVP. He should have won an MVP if it was just for the game, because he played well. But Jalen Brunson, I think they gave him MVP for the tournament, and he deserved it. He definitely deserved it. Do you think if Jalen Brunson had a signature shoe, would you wear it?
I'll buy it, yeah.
You'll buy it? Mm-hmm. Okay. He don't always give me signature shoe vibes. Jalen Brunson. Like, I feel like having a signature shoe, you need a person, like you need like an outspoken personality, or a personality that speaks to people, because they want to feel comfortable. They want to feel like they're you. They want to feel like they can do the things you can do. You just can't be like. I think he's kind of quiet. I
feel like his play style is, the more I see him play, the more I'm like, nah, he's a nice player. So I'll support him by a shoe.
But not after you put that thumb in that butt. After you let that man put his thumb in his butt, you still buy a shoe? Would you still buy it?
I can't blame JB for that. I can't blame him.
I mean, he ain't too much after it. So, I mean, but look, man, that's that frat boy culture, I guess. Now let's talk about the actual game. Let's talk about the actual game. We're gonna get out of here, man. I know we a little over on time, but you know, I love talking basketball, man. I love talking basketball. When I say I love doing this, I truly, genuinely love talking basketball. Looking at the game, I looked at the stats. I think where the Spurs, I watched the full game. I think the lights got too bright for the Spurs. And what I mean by that is the Spurs, they start doing their own thing. Like, they start like coming down, shooting some crazy shots. I remember one shot by De'Aaron Fox on a fast break, just came up, just shot crazy shots. I mean, the shooting percentage wasn't too far off from the Knicks. I mean, they shot 41%. Knicks shot 47%. That can easily lose a game. The 3-point percentage wasn't too far off. They both shot 31. The Knicks shot 38%. The Spurs shot 36%. I think what killed them was the offensive rebounds. They had too many offensive rebounds. They allowed the Knicks allowed too many offensive rebounds. I think this story would have been different if Wemby is not on a minute restriction. If Wemby's not on a minute restriction, I think it's a different case. But nonetheless, the Knicks out-rebound the Spurs. So they had 36 rebounds on the defensive end. Spurs had 24. So what that tells me is that they was limiting them in shots. They was like limiting one shot opportunity, done. When you see a team that beats you on a glass, then they beat you on an offensive rebound, that's deflating. When people play good defense, when your team play good defense and the 24-second clock goes out and you think, oh man, you feel so relieved that they didn't get a shot up or they took a bad shot and then they get another offensive rebound, reset the clock. You got to do it all over again. That can be very, very deflating when it comes to a game of this stature, or any game. My boy, let's go through some of this right here, man, before we get out of here, because I don't want to leave guys stranded. De'Aaron Fox, who y'all say is overrated, he has 16-9. He ain't do bad, but I do stand corrected. I had a debate where, who better, De'Aaron Fox or Jalen Brunson? I not said debate, but I was basically just like, is De'Aaron Fox is Jalen Brunson that much better than De'Aaron Fox? And Jalen Brunson definitely looked that much better than De'Aaron Fox. But I mean, given his role and everything, but they got Dylan Harper came off the bench, had 21 points. Wemby had 18 points. They had a balanced attack. I mean, for the Spurs, you're looking at 7 guys in double digits. 7 guys in double digits. They had a balanced attack. Like I said, 9 guys played. Everybody else set the bench. And, my man E said, look, y'all get 200,000. Fall back. Ginobili. I keep saying Ginobili, but why I keep saying Ginobili? OG Anunoby had 28 points. Led them all in scoring. And then you had Jalen Brunson with 25 points. Everybody else, Karl Anthony Towns, had 16 and 11. I mean, it was a good game. And, when I end on this, if you watch the game, if you watch this Knicks game, if you watch I watched the Rockets and the Denver Nuggets. I watched the OKC against the Spurs as well. These last few major games. What do people talk about that the league's not competitive anymore? Like, these guys is competing. They're competing. They're going hard. So, we gotta kill this media narrative where the NBA stalled, they not tough, they not all this other stuff. We gotta kill this media narrative, man. We really gotta get past this, man. But nonetheless, man, it's another great show. Show 16. Real Hooper Show. Make sure y'all spread the word. Holler at us on the merch, Brainwise to Think Elite. We don't like to follow media narratives. We do our own thing. We talk our own stuff. We're not going back to the 70s and just because somebody told us to go back to the 70s and say somebody is the greatest of all time. We didn't see him play. We not ranking them all high like we seen him play. We give him respect 1,000%. But we ain't see him play. So we got to brainwash ourselves to think elite, because elite-minded people think for themselves. That's what the brand is about. True scorers. Real hoopers. Welcome to Score Society.